Hi everyone, this is Joe Davis again. I'm a teacher at Adult Education Center in the north end of Winnipeg, and I'm happy to come along and give you another multiplication lesson. Last time we were multiplying by one digit only, and today we're going to multiply by two digits. And this is going to be a very important lesson. In fact, I'm going to show you two different methods. If you understand the first method, then you can skip the second method. I don't mind at all. It's about learning how to get the right answer. That's really all that matters. But I found that teaching different individuals and watching them and just paying close attention to how they do things, sometimes people come up with great ideas, and even the teachers are able to learn. And so I just want to show you two ways of doing this question. The first way will be the way that most people will be taught, and I'm going to try my best to color code this, okay? So we're going to have the number 41. How big is that? Well, I might even make it bigger than that. That's good. And we are going to multiply that by 23. So I've got a blue 2, and I've got a red 3. And hopefully that comes out okay. So we have 41 times 23. The rule is that we have to multiply every number by every other number. So every number on the top gets multiplied by every number on the bottom. All right, so we are going to start with the number 3 here. And we're just going to ignore the 2 for now. And I'll make the 3 nice and dark so it comes out a little bit better on the video. There we go. So 41 times 23. I have seen this. Watch. 41 plus 41 equals 82. Oh, sorry. 82 plus another 41. Have you guys done that? Well, if so, there's an awful lot of calculations you're going to have to do. In a case like this, once you learn multiplication, you don't have to go back there. Okay, so let me show you what to do. 3 times 1. I'm going to go 3. I'm going to put an arrow here because that tells us I've got to multiply 3 times 1. What is 3 times 1? It is 3. Pretty easy. I put easy numbers in here so that we can learn the method. Okay, now we go 3 times 4. And 3 times 4 is 12. And there are no more numbers to worry about, so we just plop down our 12, and it looks like this. That's our first step. We've dealt with the 3. The 3 is now done. We don't have to worry about it any longer. Now I want to talk about the 2. I'll darken that up a little bit. Notice we had the 3 over here in the ones column, this 3, and this 2 is in the tens column. And because it's in the tens column, I want to write my first number under that 2. a coincidence that this is also a 2. So what I always do is I always start off with putting a 0 on the second row. Always. This 0 is a placeholder. Some people put an X there. Some people leave a space. Whatever you do, you have to put your first calculated number right here where my pen is. Okay, so let's go back to this 2 up here. I'm going to go 2 times 1. Remember I said everything on the bottom has to multiply everything on the top. 2 times 1 is pretty easy. That's a 2. I'm going to make this 0 bigger. There we are. Okay, now 2 times 4. We're going to multiply that one. 2 times 4 is 8. So, moving along, we put an 8 right there. Make a nice big one so we can see it. So we have 123 on the first row of answers, 820 on the second row of answers. And what I'll do is I will draw a line, and then that means I'm going to add these. I'm adding these 2 things. By the way, there is a name for these, and I'm going to just write it over here on the side. Partial product. Those are called partial products. So, what do we do with partial products? We add them. And on my notes, I did the final answer in black. So, let's add these. We go 3 plus 0 is 3. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 1 plus 8 is 9. 943. Let me recap this. We did the red number 3, and we multiplied each one of the top numbers by that. And we had a partial product of 123. Then we moved down, we put in our 0 as a placeholder, and we started using the blue 2 to multiply all the top numbers. And then we ended up with an 820 as the second partial product. And I think this needs to come up a little bit. There we go. And once we get the 2 partial products, we add them together, and we end up with 943. And what are we at here? 855. Okay, let me do one that's a little bit more difficult. The last one, I chose the last one because I think everybody pretty much knows up to their 3 times tables. So that's the reason for choosing that one. This one here is going to be 56 times 23. So 56 times, I'll put that line in there like that. And I'm going to do the color coding again. We're going to go, let's see, we're going to go blue. What number did I say? 23. And the other one is going to be red. I mean, you don't really want to be changing colors every time you do a question, but we're just learning the questions, right? So this says 56 times 23. I want to have 56 and multiply it 23 times. So just like we did before, we're going to start with this red 3, and we're going to use the 3 and multiply both top numbers. And you'll notice that this time there's going to be a little bit of carrying involved. So actually I didn't leave room for that in my top, but 3 times 6 is 18, and right down there, 18. But we only put the 1 number. Let's put the 1 up here just to remind us that we have to add 1. So now we go 3 times 5, and 3 times 5 is 15, but we have to carry that extra 1 that I put over here. So 15 plus 1, obviously, is 16. We have 168 so far. Great. Okay, we're done with that one. And my blue has been sitting patiently with the cap off. We'll see if it still writes. So now we have to take the 2 and multiply it to the 6 and the 5. And I'm going to take this 1 out here, the one that we carried before, because I don't want to get confused. So 2 times 6, 2 times 6 is 12. Now remember the secret that we had to do? We had to put a 0 here. Two times 6, as I said, was 12. And carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. I'm just going to make an arrow there. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. So I'm going like this. And I'm going to add them. The 8 and the 0 are nicely aligned. The 6 and the 2, the 1 and the 1, and this one over here. So make sure they're all aligned, okay? So I'm going to add them up. I have 8. How's that coming out? Good. Another 8. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 1 is 1. Okay, so our answer is 1,288. And just a quick comment about that. When you have big numbers, for example, 1,288, you might see some people using a comma like that. And that comma is 3 numbers in, and it allows us to say, hey, that's 1,000 without even thinking about it. So I may have mentioned that on a previous video. I can't remember. But you don't have to put the comma in. I personally like using the comma. It just helps me read. So this is 1,288. All right, and I'm going to leave that with you, and I'm going to come back and show you the alternate way of doing one of the questions anyway. Okay, so for now, we'll call it a video done, and I'll talk to you later.